After you receive the 2 copies of the documents back from the clerk of court, be sure to keep 1 complete set of copies for your files. The next step is very important. It is called service of process. You must serve the other party or the other party's attorney. They should get 1 copy of the family court cover sheet, summons, complaint, and the financial declaration. You do not need to include the motion to proceed in forma pauperis in the packet of documents going to the other party or the other party's attorney. You will need one of the 3 forms to prove that you've served the other parent or the other parent's attorney. These forms print when you complete the online interview. The form you use depends on how the documents are received. If you missed a section of the video on completing the forms, please go back to Module 7. The form that corresponds with the process you use must be completed, notarized, and taken to the clerk of court's office for filing to provide documentation that the other party has received the paperwork. Ask the clerk of court's office to make a copy for you. So let's review the option that you may use for serving the paperwork. If the other party's or the other party's attorney is not served properly, you will not be able to proceed and cannot get a hearing date set. You may have to try more than one way. In general, if you know the other party will accept the papers, you can use the acceptance of service. If not, it is usually quicker and easier to have the sheriff's office serve the papers. If the other party is willing to accept service, have the other party complete the acceptance of service form. Handing the papers to the defendant yourself is not good service of process unless the defendant is willing and completes the acceptance of service form. Take the completed forms to the clerk of court's office for filing. Ask the clerk of court to make a copy of the form for you at the time of filing. You must have a good mailing address to try to serve by mail. You must send these documents certified mail, restricted delivery, return receipt requested. When you get the return receipt card back from the U.S. Post Office, check it to make sure the other party has signed the card. If someone other than the other party signed the return receipt card, the green card, you do not have good service and must try again. If you receive the return receipt card and it was signed by the other party, record the docket number you received from the clerk of court in the words summons and complaint across the top of the return receipt. That's the green card. Make a copy of the card for your file. Next, complete and sign the affidavit of mailing form before a notary. Do not sign this form until you are in front of a notary. The notary must witness your signature on the affidavit of mailing. Attach the return receipt card to the notarized affidavit of mailing and take it to the clerk of court's office for filing. If you do not get the return receipt card back, you should contact the sheriff's office or private process server to have the papers served. You must have a good address for the defendant. If you do not have a good home address, you may use a work address. Some employers do not allow service process at the work site. Contact the sheriff's office in the county where the other party lives or works to serve the papers. There may be a fee for this service by the sheriff's office. If your motion to proceed in forma pauperis was granted, provide a copy to the sheriff's office and you may not have to pay the fee. When the sheriff serves the papers, ask the office to complete the bottom half of the affidavit service form before a notary. Have the form notarized and return the form to you. The sheriff's office may have its own affidavit of service form and their form may be used. File the notarized affidavit of service with the clerk of court. Private process servers are listed in the telephone book. There will be a fee for this service. It is usually more expensive than the sheriff's office. When they have served the papers, they will give you a completed affidavit of service form you gave them or their own form. File the notarized affidavit of service with the clerk of court. Another way to serve the other party is by commercial delivery company like UPS or FedEx. Be sure that the person being served signs the papers or it is not good service. You will file the delivery record with the affidavit of service.